Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of GT Online Did You Know? And today, did you know about these awesome map guides a member of the GT Online community has created for everyone to use? These things are awesome, and they are actually created by Big J Love 3. And as always, I'll leave a link to the Avenger post and another place that you can find these in super large resolutions so you can zoom in on them. But we're going to be taking a look at the 10 maps this guy has created. Now, the reason these are so awesome and so useful is because you don't know everything in GT Online. I mean, most of us who have been playing from the start, we know a lot of stuff, but with new updates and new features like the Terabyte, for instance, there are so many different spawn locations around the map, and you just don't know them all. And what I do sometimes, since I have like a 2-monitor setup, I'll have some of these maps on my other monitor when I'm playing. And if I ever do call my Terabyte or my MOC or my Avenger, I can look at the map and then take a look at the map, my other screen, to see where that vehicle is going to spawn so I can head there preemptively. And I mean, over time, once you look at these maps and sort of realize, at least sort of in the city part, where these things are going to spawn, then you're going to need them less and less. And it's almost going to become sort of second nature as to where some of these things are. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into the maps and check some of these out. So this first one we're going to start with is the Terabyte, because it's one of the new vehicles that just released. And the cool thing about these maps, you can see over here on the left, he has a legend that sort of, if I zoom in here, it's going to be super zoomed in. Like I said, these maps are freaking huge. We're going to zoom out a little bit. But he has obviously what each thing is on each of these maps. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you couldn't figure it out, well, then there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in, and let's go ahead and move this up a little bit. So this is the main part of the city. Now, yeah, if I scroll up here, you can see there's obviously a ton of Terabyte locations all throughout the map. And look, if you spend a lot of time up in Sandy Shores and up in the northern part of the map, then it might be beneficial to look at those. But the main ones are the ones down in the city, because that's where you spend a lot of your time. And the coolest part, and I really didn't know this, but if you're like in the main sort of downtown part, there's really just this one, like the one right here that I'm circling, that's the one my Terabyte spawns, it seems like, all the time. So I know to go to the location if I ever want the Terabyte. And there's a lot of locations down here in the south. Some are actually like really close to each other. So, some of these you may think it's going to go somewhere, but I guess the game thinks that you're closer to another location. So unfortunately, with stuff like this, it may be a bit of a crapshoot as to where your Terabyte actually spawns. But this is a really cool map just to know, like, to see where stuff is going to be. The next one we have is the Avenger. Now, the Avenger and the MOC, you don't have as many spawns, so it's a little bit nicer. We're going to go ahead and zoom into the city here. And you can see that there's definitely less than the Terabyte. And the one that I end up using a ton is this space kind of by the mall area. I swear, that's where my Avenger spawns all the time. But there are some other locations, which I've actually never seen an Avenger spawn at some of these locations. But it is good to know. And it's also cool how the Avenger will spawn in the airport. A lot of vehicles don't seem to do that. But again, with the Terabyte, you have all of these up here in the north if you want to memorize them. The next one is personal aircraft. And this one is super, super important if you do have, a personal aircraft vehicle that you like flying around in. Maybe like the B-11, the Strike Force, or any of the helicopters like the Hunter or something. But here you can actually get an idea, and it is based off of the type of aircraft. If we zoom in here, there's a small spawn point, and then there's a medium spawn point, and I believe there's a large spawn point. It's definitely a little crazy, but if we zoom in here, so on the beach, you have 3 large spawn points, while if we take a look at the hangar, or if we take a look at the airport, you can see that, there's a small spawn point and there's a medium spawn point over here on the pier. But he does say that down here is only for LSIA hangars, which is stupid because I have mine up in Fort Zancudo. But anyway, you can see there's some more large and medium airport or spawn points over here. The small one again on the dock, and it just depends on, you know, where you are in relation to all of these points. Like the one that I end up using a lot because I call like my Akula or the Hunter is over here in the sewers. I swear this is where like it's almost an instinct just to go over here the second I call it, because I know it's going to be over there. But if you do end up using, I'm going to use the Bombushka, for example, even though it's a piece of crap, it's going to spawn over here on the airport. Although I will say that there is, I believe, a missing spot here, because I have had some aircraft spawn sort of down here by the, I don't know, lifeguard people, whatever that's called. But yeah, that is the personal aircraft. Next one is the MOC. And again, I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see the MOC, if you still use it, although I'm not entirely sure why you would, considering the terabytes now in the game. But I guess if you have some of the older vehicles maybe and you want to customize them, that's a good little map. Then we have some maps that aren't super useful, just because you could technically see all of these locations if you go on certain websites in the game. But this one is business, or the businesses map. And this just gives you somewhat of a good idea of where every single business is. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit, and you can see as we just scroll on down, you know, you got your bunkers, you got your facilities, you got your hangars over here. Then obviously once we get down to the city, you have only your nightclubs. So that's a cool little map just to check that out. The next one we have is motorcycle clubs and all of the different businesses that you can actually run with them. So if you are into motorcycle clubbing, again, this one's kind of cool, but it's kind of an old sort of business, so I don't know too many people looking for that. Then we have the executive offices and their locations with the vehicle warehouses. This one's kind of cool because the vehicle warehouses and the crate warehouses, those are two of the best businesses in the game for making money. So it is nice to know where they are. And he does actually go in detail, if I zoom in, as far as if it's a large, a medium, a large, a medium, or a small warehouse. That's cool. And then we have the Pegasus map, and this one's beneficial for the new blimp if you purchased it, because it actually has some unique locations. But everything else you can see, you probably have seen most of these locations by now, because Pegasus has been in the game since the start. And if you are wondering, over here on the left, if I zoom in, of course that's going to be super zoomed in. On the left, the tank icon is just for all ground vehicles, so it's not like just for tanks. But yeah, that's the Pegasus map. And then we have two more. We have the properties, which is good to know, which you can see. And then the probably one of the most useful ones that I feel like isn't used a ton is this one, the amenities. Now on this map, if we zoom in a little bit more, you can see all of the locations of like the gun stores and the paint sprays and the clothing stores and stuff. And look, you can see most of that on the regular map when you just hit start. But what this map shows that is kind of useful are the AT&T or AT&M, I can't even say the word. The ATMs, I was going to say ATM machines, but that's not right. And the cola, the Sprunk and the cola like machines. And those are beneficial for getting your health up if you want to do that easily. Like if you have this map open and you're maybe in a firefight or something, and you know the guy's not going to rush you, so you're like, all right, I'm next to a cola machine, an e-cola machine. I can just go there, pay $1, quickly get my health up, and be good to go. Like, yeah, you could use snacks, but maybe you don't have any snacks or something. I don't know. I just thought this one was kind of cool because it does show you the ATM locations and the cola machine locations. But anyway, that is all of the maps. And like I said, I'll leave a link to all of them in the description. There's even one that has all of them combined, although it's kind of crazy because there's a ton of little icons. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy, please drop the video a like and subscribe for more awesome GTA content. Subscribe for this episode, this series, Did You Know, every single Saturday. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.